What's up YouTube? This is GalacticGod and I'm coming at you today with a video to talk about wind-ups, or more specifically, the wind-up loops. Now with the changes that were made quite recently to the OCG ban list, a lot of players have been messaging me and leaving comments in my comment section asking just how detrimental the wind-up deck and their loops really were back in the day. So this video is really more to cater to duelists who weren't around during that era and possibly don't understand the magnitude of how powerful the different wind-up loops really were. So in this video, I'm going to go over the loop that started it all. The one that began with this guy, Wind-Up Hunter. Now arguably, the Shock Lock loop was considered a little bit more powerful and prevalent in the meta, but Hunter was really the card that kind of put wind-ups on the map. Now I know there's a lot of different variations of this loop, so I'm going to go ahead and show you one of the ones that I kind of liked. Alright, so with a lot of the Wind-Up Hunter loops, basically all you need to do is have two specific cards in your starting opening hand and you should be able to complete this loop. So for this scenario we're going to use Wind-Up Magician and Wind-Up Shark, both of which when this loop came out were unlimited, meaning you can have 3 of each of this card in your deck. So let's say our opponent has their 5 opening starting cards and you went ahead and went first. If your opponent doesn't happen to have either a Maxi or an Effect Veiler, you're pretty much going to rape their hand at this point. So you would start things off by normal summoning out Wind-Up Magician. And then you would reveal Wind-Up Shark in your hand to special summon him. This would trigger Magician's effect. You're going to go ahead and bring out your Wind-Up Shark. Magician is going to go ahead and bring out another Magician from the deck. You would then activate Wind-Up Shark's effect, lowering it to a level 3. This would trigger the second Magician's effect, and then you bring out your Wind-Up Hunter. You're going to use Hunter's effect to go ahead and tribute off one of your Wind-Up Magicians. This will then allow you to take a card out of your opponent's hand. They're now left with 4 cards in their opening starting hand. We're then going to go ahead and overlay our Wind-Up Shark and our Wind-Up Hunter to bring out our first Wind-Up Carrier, Zen Mighty. Now we're going to go ahead and use its effect. We're going to detach Hunter. It's important that you detach the Hunter in this scenario. This brings out our Wind-Up Rat from our deck. We're going to use Wind-Up Rat's effect to bring back Hunter. We're going to go ahead and use Hunter's effect at this point and tribute off our Wind-Up Carrier Zen Mighty to the graveyard to take another card out of our opponent's hand. They now only have 3. We're then going to go ahead and overlay our Wind-Up Hunter and our Wind-Up Rat to bring out yet another Wind-Up Carrier Zen Mighty. You can kind of see the loop forming at this point. We're going to go ahead and detach our Wind-Up Hunter and send it to the graveyard and bring out another rat from our deck. We're then going to go ahead and use Rat's effect, bring out Hunter. I'm going to go ahead and tribute off our Wind-Up Carriers and Mighty yet again to go ahead and get rid of another card out of our opponent's hand. We're going to overlay once again and we're going to bring out, you guessed it, another Wind-Up Carriers and Mighty. We're going to detach this Wind-Up Carriers and Mighty to the graveyard to go ahead and bring out our final Wind-Up Rat. We're going to use its effect to go ahead and bring Hunter back. Now at this point you have a couple different options and different scenarios that you can go ahead and do. Depending on what other cards you've drawn in your hand, you might be able to get all 5 of the cards out of your opponent's opening starting hand. For example, if you happen to have drawn a Pot of Avarice in your opening starting hand, which I believe was still allowed to be at 3 copies per deck during this era, you would just recycle all the cards in your graveyard back into the deck and continue the loop even further. Otherwise, so let's say we had nothing else in our hand to continue the combo with. What most duelists would do in this scenario is go ahead and tribute off their Magician to go ahead and take another card out of your opponent's hand. We're going to go ahead and overlay for any rank 3 that you want. At this time in the meta, a lot of players will probably go into Zen mains at this point. Now keep in mind you should still have 4 cards left in your hand plus these 2 monsters on the field, and your opponent only has 1 card left in hand. Now depending on what other cards you actually happen to draw, you could have continued on with the combo and gotten all 5 cards out of their hand. But already you can kind of see just how detrimental this is. You are starting off your game with 6 cards, 2 Xyz monsters on the field. At this point in the game, Zen mains was extremely hard to kind of get over. And your opponent only has 1 card left in hand, plus whatever they're going to draw into. And this, my friends, is one of the reasons why wind-ups were so feared back in the day. So, in the comment section below, let me know what you guys think of the wind-up hand loop. Do you think if all these cards were unlimited once again, that this would be a combo that would affect the meta greatly? Or do you think we just have too many cards that could be outs at our disposal at this time? Also, if you guys would like me to showcase the Shock Lock loop the wind-ups were ultimately able to develop in a future video, let me know that down in the comment section as well. And I guess that's going to do it for now. This is GalacticGod, out.